Welcome, welcome, welcome. HanesGainz is in the house. How are you? It's Friday. I've got another installment of my HanesGainz YouTube videos. Today, we're talking about bench technique. I know this is high on a lot of my athletes' lists. I know this is high on a lot of people's lists for a lot of reasons. I think that bench, for a lot of individuals, has just been something that we've done for a long time. We've always strived to have a better bench. I think there's a lot of stigmas out there about bench as well, as far as what injuries may be caused, how bad it is for the shoulders. I'm 44 years old. I've been benching my entire life. I've got healthy shoulders. Yes, over time, you can definitely abuse your shoulders by benching. So you want to mix it up. You want to do multiple joint movements. You really want to make sure that you're doing more than just sticking your arms to a bar and creating movement this way. You want to mix it up. Always mix it up. But when we do refer to bench, there's important things to understand. And I consider myself to be a technician when it comes to bench. I've learned from some of the best in the world. Locally in Monterey, we have some world record holders that I've learned from over the years. Matt Lamarck, Steve Wong, just some incredible people that are incredible at this technique. And it is my technique. I think there's a lot of different ways to do this. I'm sharing you what I've learned over time to be the best method for me. And it always starts with a few things. So safety, warm-up, and approach. Safety is huge just because it's number one always. Just use collars, use caution, be respectful of the gym at all times. Put your weight away. Weights and weightlifting and communities, it's a community. So this whole process of being involved in fitness is a community. Let's take care of it. And safety encompasses, belts, wrist wraps, things that you get comfortable with for whatever reason you feel like you might want to use wrist wraps because maybe your wrists get a little achy when you're pushing heavier weight. These things run anywhere from $12 to $20. You can buy them on Rogue, online. There's lots of places. Warming up's huge. I'm set up behind me with the bench right now because I'm going to show you some technique. But I went through a process of warming up my wrist. I warmed up the shoulders. Lots of videos on warm-up techniques. I warmed up with a bar. I warmed up with a couple different progressions and weights just to really loosen my chest up. Some light dumbbell work just to loosen my shoulders up. There's lots of ways to warm your chest and shoulders up. But, you really want to warm your whole body up. You want to get your heart moving. And I think a lot of people make a mistake in that warm-up. And that safety aspect in the warm-up, everything we do, you always got to have a partner to spot you if you're going to be going heavy. I would encourage a partner at any given day because it's accountability, it's community, it's that whole process of being consistent. And approach, what I mean by approach is when you approach exercises, especially ones that you're trying to improve and to produce better strength, power, you want to have an approach that's the same every single time. And that approach manifests through conversations like this and experience. So as you lift and as you bench, you're going to get comfortable doing it certain ways. So that's what I mean by approach. Tiger Woods, when he swings the golf club, every single time he steps up to that tee box or that ball, he has the same approach every single time. And I'll tell you that I have the same approach to bench every single time. I've got the same approach to my deadlift every time. I've evolved my own approach that is it's a combination of a lot of different things that I've copied, pasted, and stole from other people, which is no problem, right? We want to do that. So looking at the bench, we're going to go into technique now. So look at the bench, flat bench. This dotted line depicts the actual bar where the weight is sitting. So you see the wheel, the 45-pound weight, which I'm basically showing. This would be where the hook is. This is the hook. So your head is underneath the bar. When you have a spotter, the spotter's lifting you off, right? So that's just so you understand what we're looking at. So now what I've done is I've drawn some contact points. My foot's on the ground here, that's one contact point. My butt's touching the bench, that's a must, people. Your butt has to stay on the bench and stay touching the bench. If your butt leaves the bench in my world and in most people's world, that's not a lift. That's not a lift. The butt needs to stay on that bench, your shoulders need to stay on the bench. Your head needs to stay on the bench and your hands are contacted to the bar. All of these points are important for contact and leverage. Your legs become a great driving point when you push that weight. So these points of pressure and contact are very important. You also see that I have an arch here in the back. There is nothing wrong with arching. It's a natural position. It's a power position. Whenever we're sitting just like this, that's a power position. Take a look at what I'm doing. I'm in a power position. When we power clean or we do Olympic lifts, we get in a power position. My back is arched. We want that. We want that because that's what's going to give us the ability to drive and push that weight. That's also why you hear people talking about the direction of the bar when you bench. We don't bench flat back. You can, you can bench flat back and just do a lift and do dumbbells and things like that. But when you're benching with the bar, you really want to be in this position here. You want to have your butt contact, your shoulders contacted with a little bit of arch. And there's a way that you can create that arch by kind of rolling back on your shoulders as you enter the bench and you engage that bar. And I'm going to show you that technique, which does a better job of helping you get in position, okay? So now look at this dotted line right here. So as we set up and the bar comes off the bar and we're sitting here with that bar above us now, we're getting ready to come down. Of course that bar comes straight down to our nipple line, right to our nipple line. We do a little pause, and now when we go to drive that weight up, we're not going to collapse our chest, we're going to stay up in position. But now when I go to drive that weight up, because I'm in an arch and because my chest is now basically facing this direction, not straight up, right? When you drive that bar, you're going to be driving that bar back over your eyes because of the fact that now your chest is facing this direction. So we come down with the bar, and then we're going to drive that bar slowly, controlled. Not slowly, you're going to drive the bar, but you're going to drive it. But when you're doing this for the first couple times, you're going to be careful and controlled. And you're driving that bar back towards your eyes. So it's looking like this. You come down, and then you're driving back up over your eyes because that's the position. You're not flat-chested. You're this way. That's the whole point in why we drive that weight at this angle back towards our eyes in a controlled manner. And the reason why it looks weird, feels weird, is because conceptually it doesn't make sense until you're in that position and you can feel that movement. Have a friend video you. You'll see what I'm talking about. It makes a huge difference. So real quickly, I'm going to adjust the weight. I'm going to adjust this camera and hopefully get an angle that we can do this with. Okay? Bear with me. That'll work. So I'm engaged on the bench. My feet are flat. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to put your feet. There's people that put their feet way back. This is just my preference, okay? So I'm on the bench. I'm going to slide in, shoulder. Your width of your hands on the bar is just what you're comfortable with. You know, not too narrow, not too wide, probably to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm engaged on the bar. I'm going to roll myself, slide myself back, and as I slide, I'm going to get my arch, and I'm going to set myself down. And I just got my hands lightly on the bar. So now I'm locked. I'm in position, okay? If I had a spotter, I would say 1, 2, 3, lift. As the spotter lifts me, I'm airing in. I'm airing up. Now I'm going to come down controlled. Push back up. Controlled. Push back up. You see the angle of the bar going back? Elbows, don't put the elbows out that way. Slight angle toward your lats. Down, push up. Always have the same approach. Don't flatten your back. Stay contacted, stay engaged. Drive that weight up. Keep those feet pressed into the floor. And I guarantee your weight will go up 20, 30 pounds. 20, 30 pounds in your PR. If you can work on these techniques and get these techniques dialed. HanesGainz out. Much love. Have a good weekend. Peace.